Okay, to this point, we have um, the D10 rotating. We don't have the D100 rotating yet. So let's go in and work on the code on that. Here in this code, what we can do is first figure out how we're going to get the ones place, or the D100, because right now getting the last digit in here was pretty easy. It's the first digit in the integer is going to be a little bit tricky, or at least trickier. So what we can say is something like die roll. So we're going to create a variable that is die roll. So it's just going to write over the die roll that we have here and do str so that will turn it into string, and then die roll. So we're taking the die roll variable and making it equal to its equivalent, but in a string format rather than an integer. So that way we can use string functions with it. So let's test this out. We'll do a print statement. Print die roll, and then I don't remember if it has to be in brackets. Let's try that. And if not, we'll fix it really quick. Oops. I didn't mean to just copy that one line. Let's copy everything. So if we do a D100, so if we do the ones place, or one like that, then we're getting the second number in the list. So let's adjust that to be 0. So that should be the first number in our list. And let's get that here. And so, well, I rolled the 3. That makes it easy. So 1, 5, 5, 7. So it is giving us the first place number. The only tricky one that we will have if it's 100, because then we have, actually, no, it's not even that tricky because it's still going to be in the ones place, so, or the first spot of all 3 numbers, which will be perfect for us. So let's go back here. And now that we have figured out that that is correct, that it's giving us the first number, what we can say is if die roll is equal to 1, then we can rotate it. And if we had this where the orientations were exactly the same, we could probably use that and just make some adjustments to the function. But unfortunately, with my dice, the rotations are different because it was textured differently from one to the other. So let's just create another function. I'm going to define rotate D100. And we need die roll as a variable or an argument. And then we need to, basically do everything that we have here. But for the D100, I am going to need to adjust the rotations to make it right, but just for speed, I'm going to do it like this. And then go and fix it afterwards for other with the correct rotations. But this will give us most of the code. We just need to adjust the rotations. And this will give us a starting out point to be able to figure out what the rotations are to make this correct. Okay, so if roll equals 100 or 1, then we can say rotate the 100 with a 1. And then just paste this a few times and make the adjustments so that they have the correct numbers. Five, and then we just need to do another set of these. Instead of 1, we'll start off at 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, in this case, we won't have 10. What it will be is 0. Or not even 0. It will be 1 for 100. So that's going to be the tricky part. We'll get it. Actually, let's set it to 10. And then we'll fix it. Oh, cool. So here for the 10 and the 1 is going to be tricky because they're actually going to be the same thing. They're going to be a 1, or if we're trying to get 100, it is going to be a 1 as well. So in order to fix that, what we're going to want to do is say if dice roll equals 1, and then we can add a qualifier, and the length of die roll, which is a string function, is equal to 3, then do the 10, or we can do 0. That's fine too. Which means this will be 0 there. And then up here, as a qualifier for this, we'll do and length of the die roll is equal to 1. Cool. So we're checking if the length is equal to 1 or if the die roll is equal to 1. And all of these should be strings because they are strings now instead of integers. So let's make all of these strings. Oops. Let's change that. Almost done. Few more. Nine, and the last one is 10 or 100. Okay, so that looks correct now. So we're looking for the string values, and we can put numbers in there, it doesn't matter. So this will work fine down here. And these are going to be numerical values as well, because we're checking a length and it's returning an integer. Okay, so that is good. We can test this out and see if we get rotations. I closed it on accident. Let's test this here. So we'll check it with the percentile. And rotate it. So it's rotating this die. It is not rotating this die here. There we got one rotation. We got 70 and 40. So you rolled a 1, so it got the 0, 0 correct. Let's check this in the Python code. Oh, it probably didn't even get that correct. So, but it's not rotating every time, which is curious to me, because it does rotate sometimes, so it is getting a few numbers correct. 6, 1. Okay, oops. Let's look over here. So here, if it's a 1, that's fine. And the length is 1. Or let's copy this because we should have more than just that one. Is length 2. And let's see if that works a little bit better. Check the percentile dice. So roll the 22. No, now it's going to stick at 0 because it's taking it as another qualifier. So let's check how we can fix this, because it needs to be that. So what I am going to do is just basically copy this, get rid of that, and actually let's just copy this instead. Copy that, and I'm going to put another if statement here. So if it's 1 and the length is 2, so that way we get more rotations. We do the 1, or possible rotations. Let's copy this and paste it in here and run this. We have the percentile. 63, 61, 17. Is it going to get any other rotations or any rotations at all? It doesn't look like it. So let's test out what we are getting right now with our code so that we can test this. So let's say print die roll, and then we're also going to print the length of die roll since we are using that. There we go. So we'll print both of those values and see what we're getting for that and see if we can make some adjustments. So let's copy this and paste it. And let's check the percentile. So it was supposed to be 77. Our die roll is 77 and our roll is 2. So let's look at what we are getting here. Okay, so we don't necessarily want the die roll, right? We want the first place of the die roll. So if we put the 0 in the brackets, let's try that. That's probably what I was missing. I'm going to copy this and bring it here. And we are going to check percentile and just check the numbers. So 52, and we get a 5 and a 2. So that's the length. And let's see if we can get a single digit, which is giving us a 1. Perfect. So let's try and make that adjustment right now. So instead of going in individually and changing each one of these down here, what I am just going to do is say die roll is equal to the first space in die roll, and then we have the length, which is working properly. Let's see if this works. Okay, percentile and roll 75. So like I said, the rotations are off because it wasn't textured the same way as the other one, but some of them may be correct. We can check what is correct and what is not correct. So here, the ones should be in that place, but let's do the easy one first to fix it. So the code is working now. We just need to get the correct rotations. So 0, 0, 0 is the 30s. So let's go back to our code. And over here, just because I want to be able to get back to this, actually, let's randomize it so that or roll it so I know what 3 is before I comment it out. So when I see a 3, I'll know what that belongs to. The 30 is for 4, okay? So I'll go back over here and this is going to be, let's copy all of these. Actually, copy all this since that is right there and it is exactly what we need. And I will copy this and actually let's cut it rather than copy and paste it in here. Okay, So now we should at least have 2 correct places. So let's check the percentile. 72, 60, 20. If we get a 30 number, so we can number in the 30s. Oh, this is taking away. There. So we got the 30s. And then here we switched out with, what was that, 4, which was 0, 0, 0. So let's see if we got the 4's place. Need something that is 40, but that's giving us 20, which is not completely correct. Let's take this. Am I getting a 4 at all right now? There we go. Oops, I missed it. I'll go a little bit slower. I can see what the 4 is. There we go. 4 is in the 5's place. So the 5's place here, I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to put it in a comment there, since I know that is for the 4's place. So let's figure out, that means that we don't have the 5's place yet, but we put that somewhere. So let's figure out where the 5 is. The 5 is in the 6th. So we can copy or cut that and paste it here. And let's figure out where the 6 is. Six is 0. Would that be 0? Let's see. Well, let's keep on doing this to see if we get another single digit really quick and find out where that belongs. Gives us another 6. That should be, oops, I didn't see it. Went a little bit too fast. Oh, I went too fast again. There. Okay, so it is giving us different numbers. It's basically giving us, because it's one number in length, it's giving us whatever this number should be. So let's go back to our code and adjust this a little bit so that we can figure it out a little bit better. So with these conditions here, we have it working almost the right way. So this will give us for the 10 and 100. And all of these numbers here, we're going to need to say n length is 2. So that way we can make sure that we're getting that correctly. So with this if statement, I'm just going to do elif. So that way it is based off of all of this section here. And then we'll just do this here and say else rotate equals, or rotate d100 at 0. We could probably do the else here, but I'll leave it like this for now so it's a little bit clear what we're doing. So let's copy this here. So basically, if it's a length of 2, and actually, because of that, we don't need this other if statement because it'll check if it's two-sided or a length of 2. Once it's 1, then it will bring it to this last statement here, which will reduce what we need to do. So let's paste this here. This 6 we did not figure out, so print fill. Put this as a string, just so that way it has something to run in there and it doesn't cause us an error. Okay, so I want to find out what the 6 is. And this is broken now. So let's check the code here. So because we don't have a length, we only have one number here. That's why it's not working. So let's say this is dice roll, and we'll keep the die roll there. So that way we can have 2 different variables. And this is going to be dice roll, dice roll. There we go. So we still have the original die roll. Okay, this is going to be die roll then, and die roll. So we have the variable die roll, and then we'll have dice roll, which will be for this variable here. That is the string single number. That should give us rotations again. And paste this in here. And I messed something up. So die roll. There, that should work correctly. Let's copy this and paste it in here. Unexpected indent block. So, oh, print fill. There we go. So let's see if we get rotations. 53. 17. That one is not correct, but I want to find the 6. Am I going to get a 6 rotation? Doesn't look like it, so let's just figure out where the 6 is here. Use that. So 170, -15, and -7. I like that better. So we'll use that. 70, 170, -15, and 7. So we'll go here and fix that with the rotate dice. This is going to be 170, I believe. -15 and 7. -15 and 7. Copy this and upload that. So we should get, oops, not 6-sided, I want percentile. Oh, that was lucky. Got 6 in the first one. That worked out great. So in the one spot we have zeros. Let's fix that. So these should be for the 0. There we go. And then we'll bring that back in a moment. Okay. 6 is fine. 5 is fine. Cool. 7. So, oh, we got the 6 there. So the 7 have the 6, so we could get rid of that. So we need to find where the 7s are. There we go. It's in the 8th. Cut that and paste it here. Let's find where the 8s are. And it doesn't look like it's popping up right now for us. I mean, these aren't super perfect or anything with the rotations. Just getting us close enough. But since I don't know where those are, I'm just going to get rid of these really quick and just make the code the most updated version that we have right now. And we'll fix whatever we don't have. So rid of that. But keep these. I might have done it backwards. If I did, we'll fix it. It's not a huge deal. And then we'll say print fill. Copy this as well. And put it here. And we can check the percentile again. 3s are good. 5s are good. 9 are not good. So let's figure out what the 9 rotation should be. Should somewhere like that. So let's say 215, -20, and -125. There we go. So I'll use those values for 9. And actually, I'll just copy it here. So 1 or 215, -20, and -125. '71. This is, yeah, good. 90, maybe just a little bit off. Let's make it a little bit more flat with the world. I guess that's nitpicking a little bit, but 198, 8, and -125. That should be fine. So fill. That is with 88. Let's find the 8's place. There. -150, -15, and 50. Close enough. So let's take one of these and place it there. This is going to be -150, then -15 and 50. Percentile 7 looks 5. The 2's look wrong. It is giving us 1. So let's save that since we have it and put it here. And find the 2. Something kind of like that. So let's say negative 85, 12, and 30. That's what we will use. So negative 85, 12, and 30. Let's copy this and paste it back in here. And run this code so that we can check anything. 10s are fine, 8 is fine, 5 is fine, 6 is fine, 7 is fine, 9 is fine, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, 0s are fine, 6 are fine, 6 is fine, 7. So it looks like we have all of the numbers correct. I don't have any issues here. Great. So that is orienting the D100. So this was a pretty long video, just over 40 minutes. Sorry for the length of this one, but we have the whole rotation of this dice working now. See you guys in the next lesson.